Hey, how we doing today? Swami Streams is live, baby. Live. I'm all jazzed up today. I'm doing jazz hands, I guess. I don't know why I said jazzed up, but I think that's jazz hands. I never do jazz hands. I don't even know how I know they're called jazz hands, to be perfectly honest with you. What's going on in the world, people? How's everybody doing? I am just opening up sorry, I was distracted for a sec. So, here we are on Wednesday, and a couple people are hosting me. Appreciate that, as always. Dev Talk Show is hosting me. Rich Ross is hosting me. Bruno. Always great to have Bruno hosting me. You know, I feel like, and maybe I'm wrong here, Dev Talk Show kind of has to host me, right? I mean, you know, I'm like part of that show, right? Rich Ross, he works on that show. We work together on that. We're in this together. Bruno's just going out there and hosting me. That's cool. Like, I appreciate it. And not that I don't appreciate the other hosts. Yeah, I'm just trying to throw some love around, maybe where it's deserved. And, see, Rich gets it. Rich gets it. I am excited for today, being Wednesday. Wednesday's like my live stream day. And I do my live stream here at noon. And we're going to write some code. We're going to have some fun with that. And then tonight is the Dev Talk Show at 8:30 p.m. And if you're on Mixer, it's mixer.com/the Dev Talk Show. If you're on Twitch, twitch.tv/the Dev Talk Show. And we've got a special guest coming back in the studio. What's that in the studio? We're not even in the studio. Excuse me. We're not even in the studio. We're all working remotely now, right? It's all remote. We have got Kev Griffin coming in tonight to talk about Azure Logic Apps. And I'm looking forward to learning a little bit about Azure Logic Apps. I've seen them, and, you know, Logic Apps are one of those features of Azure where I tend to think like, you know, I don't know. I get Azure Functions, of course. I get Azure App Services. I get it. I'm writing my C# code. I'm in there doing what I like to do. Logic Apps are a little different. You know, it's UI driven, and everybody says they're super powerful and really great for certain things. And so I'm really looking forward to hearing what Kevin has to say and learn from him about some thoughts about Logic Apps, because they're pretty powerful. I mean, you know, at work, we actually have one Logic app that we use for something kind of lightweight, but it's the only way to do what we're doing. And I don't want to get into details and all that now, but so they definitely seem like they have a place, you know. And so if you're interested in that, come over tonight for the Dev Talk Show. Hope to see you there. And last week, Chris gave us, I tell you, last week's show on the Dev Talk Show, Chris gave some tips about using Git. And I tell you, I was able to immediately put those to use like the next morning, like 8 a.m. Like, I was excited, and I've been doing that stuff ever since. So all I can say is I learned stuff from the Dev Talk Show. I don't know if you do, but hope you do. But here we are with Swami Streams, and what I like to do is write some code. So let's do that. Let's take a look and see if I get the right screen up. Oh, that's the same screen we're on now. Let's go to me, and this is where we are. I'm going to pull a Mr. Rogers here, take my sweater off. I don't have a Mr. Rogers sound effect, but I do have new. I'm trapped here. I got new sound effects. Oh my gosh, I forgot I added all these new sound effects. I got to find some places to add some cool sound effects. This is like a dream come true for me. I've always wanted to be like, have that sound effects board, like, you know, when I used to watch Stern, you know, Fred would be on the soundboard playing sound effects and stuff like that, and other shows do that. I love that stuff. All right. So, where are we today? Start off, as I always do, with a little run through of the app that we're building. and talk about what we're going to do next. Last week, we added in, what's it called? What did we add in last week? I got to just look real quick. Blanket Lamar, thank you. Couldn't find the name. Thank you. Who am I thanking? Thanking myself. Lamar. We added in Lamar, and it was pretty easy to add in, and Lamar helps with dependency injection, and so that made that easy. And where'd my app go? Let's go over here. Quiet day here today. Quiet day indeed. Look at that. I got an exception? Connected party, what the heck? Win32, connection attempt failed because the connected party did not properly respond after a period of time. Here it is. Oh, this is what we really want to see. SQL exception. SQL exception? What the? You know, we're off to a good start. Thanks, Rich. Listen, that's the reason why the motto of this show is coding, fun, and a bit of chaos, because there's always something that doesn't work right. I'm going to check real quick, see on a different screen here. I just want to take a peek at something. So, is that going there? Work? Let me see something. Okay. So I do have the connection going to Azure. And let's check on something. So I am going to, oh God, there's my, I shouldn't have done that. All right. So, real quick, one of the first thing that comes to mind is, Rich is saying the same thing. Yeah, that's exactly what I was going to say. I should have peeked at yours first. Yeah, I'm thinking it's the firewall rule on the database is really my first guess. As IP addresses change, there's a good chance that my IP address changed. So let's remember to go in and put on Azure Mask. Turn that on, which can be helpful in hiding things from people out there in the world. And yeah, thanks, Rich. Yeah, I'm gonna definitely. I think that's probably it. So let's go to Portal, and this is life as a developer with Azure. It's not necessarily a bad thing. It's really cool that the SQL Server has firewall rules set up on it. I think it's called. Well, this is the database. And set server firewall. So my current address ends in 52, and it does seem to be there. Yeah, it's there to protect us, right? It's really cool that these firewall rules exist from the start. Check something else here. But it does seem like the firewall rule is enabled. 100.34.176.52 is here. So that would lead me to think that the firewall rule is not the problem. So what I'm going to do is run it again. And maybe this was like a hiccup or some sort. I don't know. It's worth a try. Taking a minute, and it's probably going to blow up. Taking a while. Is it a breakpoint? I don't think I had a breakpoint over here, did I? I don't think so.
I got a bad feeling about this.
Yeah, I got a chance to use one of my sound effects. So that was fun. Network. The server was not found. It was not. Oh! I think I know what the problem is. So, at the end of last week's show, I thought I tore down everything in Azure. So, although this is here, which is interesting, I ran it again. I wonder if, oh my gosh.
Throw me a frickin' bone here.
The only thing that's going to make me happy is going to be sound effects. So it's possible that when I tore things down last week, let's go to my, let's go and look at the release pipeline and see if it, I thought I released it again. Let's just go back. I'm going to check a couple things real quick. So in my resource group, dev default SQL East US. Okay, something's wrong here because the resource group, this is the wrong, wait. This is not even the right database. Okay. I thought I clicked on the right database. I clicked on the wrong database. I did not, and I spelled something, my own name wrong here. Look at that. So if I look at resource groups, this is called stream. Oh, this is going to be fun. So it doesn't even exist. And the reason is because I tore everything down after the last show and didn't redeploy it. And there was good reason why I tore things down. But at the same time, Shwami should have deployed it again. So let's look at my releases, and here's a chance to look at my pipeline. Here's my Shwami Streams website. And let's take a look at my pipeline now. I guess I'm going to be changing my pipelines around because I'm using pipelines for builds. I'm using the releases stuff for releases, deployments. But I think I'm going to start moving everything over to the pipelines and having YAML for everything, which I guess is now on GA. And so I'm kind of looking forward to doing that, but I don't think I'm going to do that today. So 419, well, this is old. So let's run this again. And we can see what my release does. And we'll see what kind of DevOps fun I've got going on here. So we're doing release 19. And if we look at the pipeline, we can see stuff that's going on here. Let's first go back and take a look at what I've got in here. So I've got 3 tasks in here. First thing it does is creates the, this is the ARM templates. And so this is going to build up, according to my Azure deploy.json, it's going to build up my site and my database, the structure, not the database itself, but the SQL server, and create a database named what, Shwami Streams or whatever it's called. And then I'm going to have a DACPack task, which takes my massively exciting database, which has 1 table, I believe 1 table, maybe 2, has an episodes table, okay? And this gets built into a DACPack, and this should get deployed. And that will get deployed. And then it will deploy my Azure App Service and things like that. So let's see how it's going. And it's on stage 1. Well, of course, there's only 1 stage. It is on the ARM template stuff, and that definitely takes a few minutes, which is unfortunate, or can take a few minutes. So what it's doing, and this is actually really cool, because if we switch over into Azure, and I go to my resource groups and refresh this, now I can see my resource group. Shwami Streams, RG for resource group, and systest is my environment. But what's cool is if I go into here, I can look at the resources that are being created. If I go to deployments, I can see that there's a current deployment in here. And what I really like is I can actually see all the different tasks of the deployment. And it looks like a lot of them, wait, these might be the old ones. Sometimes it goes in order and it should, no, I guess this is all, these are all done. And it's doing my SQL server. So this might be the last step. Sometimes it throws steps in later. It doesn't always log all the steps right off the bat, if I remember correctly. And so this is actually like very helpful when there's problems with ARM template deployments. coming in and look at these these parts of the deployment for the resource group. And it's deploying it. Let's see what else is going on here. Now, it created a bunch of stuff, you noticed, right? Oh, it's still deploying. Is it done yet? It did a bunch of stuff in here. And so some of these may seem redundant, but I have an API, right? Let's take a look at my ARM template. Let's take this as a learning opportunity to look at my ARM template, which is here. And what you'll see here is I have, first application insights, setting that up. Can do that with an ARM template. My server farm is what they call it, which is really an app service plan. And I find that some of this naming kind of goes back and forth and gets a little confusing. Is it an app service plan? Is it a server farm? Well, at the end of the day, it's a server, right? And so here's my app service plan. I'm using parameters to define the SKU and all kinds of cool stuff. Now I'm going to start to create websites, and this is the API site, and below it should be the ASP site, meaning the ASP MVC, I guess I could have called it, site name. So I have two different websites that build this solution. And then there's some configuration that has to go on for the site, and this is for the API site, and here's some configuration for the ASP.NET site. And then I got some host name bindings going on in here, et cetera, et cetera. And here's the SQL Server. And the SQL Server, and then the database, and it's all parameter driven. And then here's some SQL Server firewall rules, which doesn't add my current IP address because this thing doesn't know my current IP address. But it does set up this rule for zeros. And this is, I guess, a default rule under the cover. It's treated a little differently, I assume. But this allows other Azure services to access my database. So let's see where we're at with this fun thing. Still rolling. Still says accepted. Sometimes these things don't always refresh right either. So it seems to be right. Well, let's see what's going on here. It is still just checking with the ARM template. So this is going to take a little while. So, listen, if you're out there, curious to know if you're using ARM templates and what your experience with ARM templates are. I find them pretty cool. My problem with ARM templates, quite frankly, is that the learning curve is pretty high. And building out these ARM templates, now there are certainly some shortcuts. There's ways to take them and extract them from existing resources and copy them into the code. The benefits are really strong for these things, but this build is going on now. Look, 5 minutes. Why? Why is it taking 5 minutes? Why is it taking 5 minutes? I don't know. No. Oh, it completed. Look, I looked down for a second. It completed. Oh, nice. Now, one thing I'm going to have to do now that my resources are back, let's just double check and go to the overview, and I should see that I have app service plan, my insights, all the stuff that I need. Next, I do have to go back into that SQL Server and set up the firewall rule because it won't be there by default because I just deployed it again. Let's see, firewall rules. Okay, so here it tells me my client IP address. So this is important to know if you're new to this. When you deploy an Azure SQL Server, so it locks it down so that it can't be called by. It's just not accessible, and so I need to say, hey, let me call this thing. And so it's pretty easy. I can just do add client IP, and it takes it and adds it in there. I hit save. Now, I'm a little worried that the database user, I don't know, let's hope it's right. Let's just hope this works. Because be fun. Those IP restrictions usually correct themselves fairly quickly. So how about me starting off this show without even a solution, trying to run this thing? Oh, Oh my. Invalid object name episodes. That kind of gives me the impression that the DAC pack didn't run properly. Episodes. Ooh. That's interesting. So this is going to be a troubleshooting episode. So if you're watching the show, I'm a developer, and developers spend time troubleshooting things, right? You know this already. This is what happens. So we got a pretty good error message here that tells us that the SQL exception, invalid object name episodes, right? Okay, fine. So it obviously connected to the database. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to see what the database looks like. So let's go back to the resource group and to the... Wait a second, hold the phone. I have a SQL server and I don't have a database. That ain't right. Well, how can I not have a database? Did it get put in the wrong resource group? So this is my SQL server. And if I look at databases, I can see that it does have a database. Swami Streams DB systest. I'll bet it's in the wrong resource group. It's in the right resource group. So am I crazy? Or am I not seeing it? Let's refresh it. Well, there it is. Okay, so it was a little slow to update it, but the database is here. So if I go to that database, I can log in, and let's see if it allows that to work. I didn't think it would, because I don't have that completely configured correctly. Let me get the password from this, and I know it's hidden in this thing here for a sec. I'm pretty sure that I've got the database password here. And let's hope this works. Yes. Let's take...
All right.
Yeah, that's low. I gotta fix the volume on some of these sound effects. I don't know, but I'm getting a chance to play with sound effects. When I go to tables, this is slow. Come on. No tables, I think it's done. The table did not get deployed. So let's go back. Wait. I thought this was done. Maybe I didn't look at the whole thing and I assumed it was done, but only part of the DAC pack. What is going on here? So I got a little greedy and I saw that this step was done and I forgot that other steps had to get done. Now, why did this Azure SQL DAC pack task take almost 5 minutes? That's insane. Now, I don't care if the app service is deployed because I'm debugging locally and I'm going right against it, but now I have a database. Why is this stuff so slow? I don't know why it's so slow. Painful. So, let's try it again. It works. Okay. Now I blew away the database last time, so I have no data in here. But we learned a few things along the way about troubleshooting. And that's always cool, because it keeps me on my toes. And we have this archive, and I can add in, we have authentication. Hopefully still works, because I blew away the whole thing. Oh, good. That retained its values and stuff like that. I'm glad to see that. And I can create an episode here, and I can say... the one where the database was not deployed. So this is my, my little episode keeping track of things, and I'll say, this is just called the same thing, whatever. And I can put tags in here. So let's say this one's going to be about Azure SQL, because it seems to be, and about ARM templates, and about DevOps. I don't know, just some stuff. And I can go to the thing and say this was today. I don't know the archive URL yet, and I create it, and I've got a breakpoint in there, which I don't really need right now. And now, look, there it is. Isn't that exciting? And when I go to my home page, I can see the episodes. Now, there's going to be a longer list on here, and eventually there may be a different page that has it. But what I want to do is have like a search box here where I can say I want to search these episodes by either tag or details or title or something like that. And I guess I don't need this ID in here. I thought the URL displays, maybe it's such a small column because it's empty. So I thought I'd work on the search capability. That's the idea. And my hope is that it won't take us that long to implement a search feature. So to look at my solution here, I've got the ASP.NET site, and it's a controller called Episode History Controller. The home controller has, well, maybe when we search, we'll go to a different page. Maybe we'll show like the top few episodes, and when we search, we'll navigate to a different page. That actually might be a good user experience, although what the heck do I know? User experience is not my area of expertise. We can see that when I go to the index, I can go to get history, async, etc., etc. So what if we add a box on here for, just thinking here, what if we have a little search box that's going to take us to a different page? And so I think I want to do this. So if I go to the view, let's take a look at something here. If I look at my create page, I just want to grab this kind of thing. Let's do like a little form. I think this will be the easiest way to do this. If I do a form, and I know this is way more than I want, but if I go to my home page on my index, and I'm lazy, so where it says check out the archives, just for now, I'm just going to drop this in here, right? And obviously I don't need any of these boxes, but let's get rid of this stuff. And this is going to say search, right? It'll be a little submit, and ASP action is going to be search. And I think we could go to the controller for that, or a home control. Let's just leave it on the home control. It's fine. Doesn't really matter. And so we got a little button in here. Maybe we'll restyle it later. I don't know. I don't really care yet at that point. But what I need here is a little form control, and this is going to be called criteria. And so this will give us like a little form for our search criteria. Although I don't think I need, oh, that's a validation summary. Well, who knows if we'll use that yet. And right, so our model does not contain search criteria. So I could modify this. Thinking through this a little bit. I could go, oh, this is the list item, so that's definitely not going to work. I feel like I could make this easy with just a little, this is where I'm not always such an expert on, maybe this should be a different, is this a, I guess it always, see, this is the thing, I don't use Razor stuff much. But it's looking at the model for this. And so maybe what I need to do is create like a field in here. Would that work? Oh boy. What if I just had a little thing? Can I put stuff up in here? Oh my. Or do I want to? I want to make this easy. What if I want to just do like, all I'm going to do is type data into this thing. I think I could just make like a string criteria. I would probably make it lowercase. Do you need semicolons on these things? Probably. Does it need to be a property? Maybe. Whoops. Oh my gosh. Chaos. Can I just do... Oh, like it doesn't seem to like this at all. No, it's not. I'm not happy with that. I think I can just make it like a string. Oh my, what's going on here? My first idea was to do that. What is this thing telling me? Oh, declare but never use. Well, that's no big deal. I'll make it lowercase. So what if I do this? Does this work? No, it really thinks that that should be part of the model. So maybe, who knows how to do this? Oh boy. This is why I usually use things other than Razor. I'm really rusty with this stuff. I could create a bigger model for this thing that would have additional fields in it. And that wouldn't be so hard for me to do. Then, but I really just want, maybe I just need to get rid of this. And get rid of that. Okay. And wait, what? Oh, okay. And maybe I just need to have some sort of ID on this thing. Let's get rid of this and say this thing. I don't need this. Honestly, I don't even know if I need this at all. Let's get rid of this. So I guess I gotta say something like, this is a label. I don't even want that. Just gonna say ID equals search criteria. That should just post, this button should then just post this value back. I don't think I need any of that other stuff. Like, this is good old-fashioned form. And so now this is going to go to the search action. So let's go back to my controller. And I'm just going to make sure this works. So if I do public action result search, I'll take string search criteria. Whew. All right, and I'm going to return view. I want to put a string in there for a new view name, and I'm going to call this like search results, something like that. And it's not going to exist, and it's going to fail. That's fine. Now, is this one of those things that needs one of those like from body attributes or something like that, or from form? I forget, because this is we're going to do a post. It really doesn't need to be a post, but since it's a form here, a form action, I wonder if I can change it to be, what do I get here? Doesn't give me like any like method. I think if I remember correctly, this only does posts, which isn't ideal, but it doesn't really matter. So, so will this work? I have no idea. This, let's just put a breakpoint here. This should put it this little, oh God, this checkout archives, and then there's going to be like a button and an input box. And let's just see if that even is close to what I want to do. And fun day here on the stream, kind of quiet. I'm just working on some basic stuff. And, you know, hello to everybody that's out there. Okay, look, so, okay, I got my little thing in a text box, and let's just see if I put in the word like hello world. I do a search. Home search. I know why. Because I probably didn't put like anything on this thing, like one of these things, like HTTP post action. That's probably necessary. I don't know, I guess I could put one of these things on there because it's a post also. Anyway, just to make sure we're not getting like cross-site scripting or whatever the heck that's called. Oh, went to the wrong page. Here we go. Let's just do this. Ooh, oh my. Home/search. I have a breakpoint in here. So maybe it's thinking this must be let's default that, and maybe it's thinking it can't find something to match this. Well, let's just take that off, you know, something like that. Search. Oh, hang on a second. My method is on the wrong controller. Oh, God. This needs to go over here. So now let's put back in that string and see if that works. String search criteria. Lame-o. So you could argue that it should redirect to the episode history controller as well, but I don't know. This feels like it's not part of that. So, oh yeah, always goes to the wrong screen. Can someone tell me how to fix that? Test. Search. Thank you. Now, the search criteria is null, and I kind of said that I thought that was going to happen because this is a form, and this is not an object. I'm just using like a string, and it's probably not matching up to something. But if I was in here and did like, I don't know, request, body? No, request.form? Request.form. I can see that there's a key in there. And let's do request.form, I don't know, 0? Is that the way to do that? No. Oh, okay. Request form, search criteria. Well, not exactly sure what that did. So maybe it's not coming back with the form. Where can I find out what's in this thing? Request.form. Thought form. Expanding the list results. Let's do it over here. Maybe it'll make it easier for me here. Request.form. Okay. And then here I can see a key. Oh, okay. So I am not getting it back. I'm just getting that request verification token, which is, I guess, part of this thing. Interesting. This is a post. This is a form. So shouldn't this input be part of that? Oh, I got one. Name? Is it like name? Let's just put name in there too. I'm just going to type on the screen, bring it over. Oh, look at that. See that? So I forgot the good old HTML, right? I don't need to do anything fancy to get that out of there. But what I do need to do is identify this with the name attribute. And I'm kind of glad that I remembered that. So not too bad. So now I have that search criteria over here in my home controller. No, in my home controller. Okay, great. So let's do something with that. So which is really what I wanted to do today in the first place. So if I go to my orchestrator, I go to get episode, get history async. What does it take? Does it take any parameters? New search criteria. See that? So what I can do is I can set this up. So let's just do it like this. Let's go up here and say episode. What was it called? Get history args DTO. Get history args DTO. DTO equals new. Okay. Let's put that into here. That's probably not even done yet, but let's see. DTO dot, so I can do other things. I was setting up to do like paging in here, but for now, let's just focus on search criteria equals search criteria. Ta-da. Okay. Now, get history. That's what we used up here before. Yeah, I had some page number and page size in there, but maybe it doesn't matter. I could have copied that line of code. Look at that. What if I just do this? But now I need a view. Oh, let's make this async. Async task of action result. I action result, probably. Right. And I guess I can get rid of this. And now we have the history of the things, and we have to have a way to display them, so we'll need a view. Let's just do something like that. And we'll return like a new search view, and we'll yeah, I think this will work. I don't care about the view right now. So let's find out if this get history async uses the criteria that we're passing, because it probably doesn't, because we never really needed to do that before. So it's going to validate the arguments, and it's going to get episodes, and it's going to pass that in. Let's go take a look at implementation of get episodes. So look at that. It does have I did build this in where the title, so it's only going to search based on title for now, but that's not bad. That's a good test. So if I, so let's try this. Or let's see what happens. Okay, now I know there's one with the word database in it, so I'm typing on a different screen, but I'm just typing in database and hit search. And now we came back with some results. And in that result, there is an episode detail. And obviously, I mean an episode item, but not a lot of detail in there. So that's cool. That kind of works. What I'd like to do is search multiple fields. But you know what? Before I do that, What if I just figure out a way to have a view? I'm going to go to new, add view. I'm going to call it search. Search is fine. The template is going to be a list template. And the class is going to be, I think it's an episode like list item or something like that. Episode list item DTO. Oh, no, I want a collection of those, right? Will it know to make it a list because it's a list item? I think it does. Let's see what happens. I can fix that easy enough. You're going to get a little feature done today in spite of some hiccups along the way. This is taking a long time. Everything's taking a long time. What? I need a sound effect for that. Hang on. There's got to be a, what do I have here? I have like, I don't have like a really good, wait. I got one. No, I don't.
Oh, behave.
I can tell. I don't know why. That just seemed like fun.
Baby.
So, it did not work. Layout page, search, list template. I don't think the model class needs to be. Why the heck didn't that work? I'm not running. View name is search. The template is list. I don't know what's up. Let's try it again. I didn't really read the error message. Maybe that's why it took a while. Something wasn't going well. Returning the view. Okay. Could not load assembly. Huh. Heck is that? I don't know. But fear not, because I don't really care. Because all I really need is a new view, and I'll just do add view, and I'll call it search, and I'll make it empty. And really all I need, oh my, okay.
Throw me a frickin' bone here.
I mean, this is just bizarre. Now, I've seen that happen when I'm running. I'm going to restart Visual Studio. How about that? How about that for a win? Restart Visual Studio. Wow. Visual Studio doesn't take all that long to start these days. Thank God. Let's try it again, shall we? Still loading, I think. Let's see. Wait. No, I thought maybe it did it already. Okay. Add view. I'm going to go for the whole thing again. I'd like to see that it works. Let's just see. Works. Oh yeah. Oh, the gremlins are here today. The gremlins are here. So what if I just go in here and add a view this way? Is it not compiling? I should have thought of that. Build succeeded. I don't know if that was the problem. Now I could add a view or I could just add a file. What if I just... Name is going to be called search. Problem with that name search? That's going to fail. If that does, well, this one shouldn't work if the other one didn't work. And that one worked. Oh, That just is fun stuff. Well, anyway, I'm just going to take this and throw this up in here. And then I'm going to just grab that little, for now, I'm just going to grab this little table and throw it in there. And what should happen in a really ugly way, wait, almost forgot this. I got to pass in history. So let's pass in history dot results. Should be happy. What's up with Visual Studio? Like not allowing me to create that view. I'm really confused. I don't know what that was. I do not know what that was. Okay. So I'm going to type in the word database and hit search. Comes back. It should have one result and should take me to the new view. And there it is. So that's easy, right? That's what I was hoping to do. Now I'm going to add that other search thing at the top. But I'd like to have search look in other fields as well, because it's currently only looking in where am I? It's currently only looking in the let's go into this thing here, in that title field, I think. So all I need to do, and I just threw that in there like quickly, I think this is in the data service. Go to implementation. And so let's just say where let's just say down here. I'm going to say, or let's just do this the easy way. This is probably not going to be the greatest search you've ever seen, but it should allow me to do description. Oh, it's called details, sorry. I have to rename that one of these days. And I'll put tags in here too. Tags, or cannot be... This is this. Let's do it like that. Okay, so now it should search 3 fields. And so let's do it like this. And we get a search up, even though we don't have any episodes to search for. I guess it's time for me to start like populating these things. And maybe make this site go live, because it's not really in a place where anyone can get it yet. I'm going to go in here, I'm going to go to manage episodes. I'm going to create a new one. I'm going to say this is going to be called 1, and I'm going to say blank, meaning like pretending there's no data in here. And blank, and I'll change this thing. Hopefully what I'm doing is going to make sense in a minute, and I'll create that. And I'm going to create another new one, and I'm going to say blank, and I'm going to say 2, and blank, because those aren't really nullable. I think they're required, but I'm just forcing it to be value that I don't care about. And then on the third one, I'm going to put blank, blank, and I'll say 3. Simple way of testing this, and I should have unit tests for this as well. So now I have 3 things in here, 1, 2, and 3. You can't even see the results on that one, but that's okay. So if I go back home and I say I want to search for 1, it will bring back 1 item. Uh-oh. The 1. So this one does count. Why did it bring back those blanks? I said or. What was that? Did I just totally screw that up? Where the title contains search criteria, or details contain search criteria, or tags contain search criteria. Well, I should have done unit tests, but I didn't. Hang on. Am I not using this? Result. If if not, maybe it's skipping this altogether and returning all. Oh, this would be so great to have unit tests. That's what I'm doing next week. If so, let's just be lazy and debug it. Okay, well, let's look at me here anyway. Let's do this again. Sorry. Stuck. Let's type in 1. Search. I probably didn't even pass in the parameter. I thought it was so cool, and I didn't pass in the parameter. Well, of course, because right here says get new history. See, I'm always in a hurry. I gotta slow down. Although unit testing would have been great here. Wouldn't that have been a great story? Let's put my GTO in here. Oh, quiet day out there, people. Quiet day. That's okay. Because I'm just chilling out. I'm just going to let it run. Well, especially the first one, because it just goes to this page. Now I'm going to type in 1 here. And I got nothing back. That was interesting. When I type in 2. Oh, yeah. That's awesome. Let's just try this again. Search. Oh, where's my breakpoint? Where's my what? Why is it not going to the data service? I'm here. Directory is blank. That's because I'm on the home page. When I type this and hit enter, search takes me to home controller and go to search. Okay, 2 is there. 2 is going to go into the DTO. It's going to get passed into here. And wait. Oh. Validate. Validation is failing now. Isn't that special? And it's still taking me... Because I'm not checking for success, which is a good thing. I mean, a bad thing. So my audio has probably been off for a couple minutes. And I minimized my chat window. So this is an episode. It is back now. Thank you, Rich. Appreciate your looking on. And it's probably been off since I sneezed. Or I thought I turned it back on. I must have missed the button. And so, maybe it's a good thing that I need to go back to work and end this episode. Thanks for everybody who was hanging out with me today. And look forward to seeing you next week. If you're here now, do me a favor, come back tonight for the Dev Talk Show. Mixer.com/The Dev Talk Show or Twitch.tv/The Dev Talk Show. And 8:30 p.m. Eastern Time tonight, we will have Kevin Griffin with us talking about Azure Logic apps. It's going to be fun. There's 3 of us hosting that show, plus Kevin. So we won't have my dumb mistakes clouding the way. Well, we might, but hopefully those guys will be on top of it. And anyway, see you later and see you next week on Wednesday at noon for Swami Streams. Until then, enjoy. Take it easy.